The first thing I just want to mention is, have you ever been in a situation where you feel like the harder you try, the more things just seems to be getting harder, right? The harder you try, the harder things just get for you, right? Like you try so hard to work, to work yourself out of the situation, and things just seems like the harder you try, the more the universe is just sending a bunch of bullshit on top of bullshit, like a bunch of stuff after stuff on top of stuff, right? For example, there are certain times when I'm doing like a bunch of jobs, right? I do a couple of jobs and I earn a little something, right? And immediately I get paid, I get that small money, the universe tends to bring up a bunch of problems that I never had planned for, right? I don't know if God is real, if God is watching, right? I've always had trouble believing, if God is real. I don't know, it's kind of like one of those things where I just struggle a lot to believe, because if God is real, then how could he sit around and watch all these things happen to all these innocent people, right? If we are all God's children, then how can he sit around and watch other people be killed like that, other people be humiliated, other people be assaulted, and like all those bunch of bad things that happen to good people, right? There are people out there that don't deserve these bad things, yet they experience them, right? If you ever felt like that, like you've been a good person your whole life, like you've tried to be a good person, you've tried to work you have to try to work like a honest job and a honest living and just be yourself, but the more you try, it just feels like that's when things get harder, right? You try and things get harder, and you imagine, like you wonder, is God out there? Like, is God out there? No. If God is real, is he watching? Like, can you see this? Like, you see, like, if I'm supposed to be righteous, like, why am I being punished for being honest, for being a good person, for being trusting, for being, like, why am I being punished for being a good person? Like, I could think of a lot of people that do way worse stuff, and I'm not saying they deserve it, but they probably do. But I could think about a lot of people that I feel like do a lot of bad things, and they never just get to experience these things as we do, right? Somehow, the good people end up paying for the mistakes of the bad people, right? I feel like karma misses certain addresses and just lands straight to your door. I don't know if that makes sense, right? Your neighbor makes a mistake, your bad neighbor makes a mistake. You, as a good person, because I like to think I'm a good person, ends up paying for it. Kind of like it missed the address, like, oh, is it like 624B? But then it ends up delivering the karma to like 625B. You feel me? Like, it's missing the addresses. So, yeah, it really is. It hurts a lot, like it kind of takes a toll on you. Like, what do I have to do? What else do I have to do for me to get out of this situation? Because you've tried to be the best that you can be. You've tried to be a good person. You've tried to do the right things, and just be the kind of person that the world needs. And yet all you have to show for it is disappointment and hurt, right? You're not, if you are somebody that feels that way, like I do sometimes, like most of the times, a lot of times, you're not alone. I feel like expecting something to happen because you are good is kind of like one of those things that adds up to feeling like that. Because in our mind, most of the time we think like, life is going to be fair because I'm a good person. That means life is going to be fair. But at the same time, this is why I have a hard time to believe God is real, right? Because, like, let's backtrack a little bit. Like, let's say I live my life as a good person and die as a good person, die doing the right things, the good things, like all this stuff, being a kind, honest person, doing honest living and all that. And then there is person B, being the worst that they can be, right? And yet that guy ends up being, going to heaven, if there's a heaven, right? Or if there is no heaven, let's say, they end up going to hell and I go to heaven. Yeah, that would be good. Yeah, that would be good, great. But if God doesn't exist and I'm living this life like this, I feel like it's not worth it, right? While other people are enjoying what you're supposed to be enjoying, some things that you're supposed to be enjoying, other people are enjoying them, and they're doing bad stuff, and you die, you find that there is no God, and what was the point, right? What was the point of me living like that, only for me to die and find out there's no heaven, there's no hell? You just die. That's it. You're done. So now, how am I supposed to cope with that? There is no evidence. There is nothing. Like, I hear people talk about miracles and stuff like that, but I've never experienced a miracle, right? Maybe I have, maybe I haven't. I don't know, but I just don't look at it that way. Because most of the solutions that I tend to find are kind of like short-term solutions. I ask for a long-term solution. Like, right? There's times when I thought, maybe if I pray and believe and stuff like that. That was when I was a little bit younger. Right now, I'm 31 years old. I turned 31 this year. And the older I grow up, the older I get, the more it becomes harder for me to comprehend and just understand, like, it kind of feels like a fairy tale to me, right? Kind of feel like a fairy tale to me, because I believe I've been on the right path, right? I've been on the right path. If you ask me, there isn't a thing that I haven't done to kind of like just have a clean conscience, right? And yet there's somebody out there who's a murderer, who's an armed robber, killing people, serial killer, all this stuff, scamming people, all that blah 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 stuff, and they are living the best life, driving the best cars, while me, as a freaking good person that I am, I'm paying for it. It's stupid when I think about it. It's stupid. It's the stupidest thing that I've ever had to when I thought to. But anyways, I don't know if this is making sense. I don't know if I'm talking to somebody. I don't know if somebody is getting what I'm saying, if they're relating or not. But anyways, I truly appreciate you watching these videos that I'm making, right? Because I'm trying to do it, I'm trying to make sure that everything that I'm saying relates to a lot of people, because I am telling it how I live it, right? If nobody relates, cool, but if somebody relates and they feel like I'm speaking their mind, at least I've helped somebody get over a certain situation. And I feel like that's way more important than aiming for views and stuff like that. That's why I don't even give a crap. I'm just doing it the same way that other people do it. Like, my background is not even a fancy studio shit. Some fancy studio shit. It's just I'm in the bush just outside the city. You can see the buildings from afar there. I just feel like, yeah, I cycled from there just to come here and talk to you guys. If you find these videos helpful, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and share to other people that you feel like might be going through these kinds of situations. Because I plan to keep it real. I plan to keep it 100, whether it's vlogs or whatever I do. It's gonna be real life, no fake shit, no fake shit. I know a lot of people say that until they make it. Once they make it, now they start to bring in all this bunch of crap. Well, for me, I plan to keep it 100 because I don't want to mislead people. Anyways, thank you for watching, and goodbye.